Welcome to Mimi's Math Channel. Today I will go over the volume of prisms and cylinders. So you have like this formula that encompasses all of these volumes. So volume is equal to capital B times H. Capital B represents the area of the base of the shape that you're working with. So for instance, I have four shapes here that I'm showing you. The rectangular prism has a base of a rectangle. So the area of the rectangle's base is simply length times width. However, when we make it a three-dimensional figure, then we have to multiply times the height. So the rectangular prism's formula is volume is equal length times width times height. For a cube, the area is simply a square, and the square's area is S squared, which is side squared, or really, honestly, you could have said length times width as well. And then to make it three-dimensional, you would have to multiply by the height. Triangular prism, the base is a triangle, in this case, a right triangle. And so half of the base times the height is going to give you the area of the triangle, and then whatever makes it three-dimensional will be what you're multiplying in order to get your volume. And then finally, our cylinder, the base is a circle, and so the area of a circle is pi radius squared, and what makes this three-dimensional is going to be the height that's extended, so you have to multiply times the height. So pay attention to that. Let's go ahead and get started on these examples here. We are asked to find the volume of a rectangular prism. If we are given the dimensions here, we're given like 12, 10, and 6. It does not really matter what you label. So like, let's say this is 12, this is 10, and what's going to make it three-dimensional is this height of 6. It doesn't matter if I said 12 times 10 times 6 or 6 times 10 times 12, I still get the same answer. So volume is going to be 12 times 10 times 6, and make sure that you keep up with your units. So in this case, when I multiply it, this is going to give me 720 cubic inches. Find the volume of a cube. Okay, so we're going to say that this side is 8, and then this side is 8. So that's two sides, or 8 squared. And then your height is another 8. So when I multiply that out, my volume is going to be 8 times another 8 times another 8, or you could have said 8 cubed. It's going to give you the same answer, and that answer is 512. But because we have units here, we want to cube those. So this is going to be cubic feet. Example 3, we're trying to find the volume of a triangular prism. It's already labeled here. Pay attention to your base. The way this one is going to work is I'm going to take the volume of the area of my base, which is going to be 1/2. The base is 5. The height of that particular base is 12. And now what makes this prism three-dimensional? It's going to be this height, which is 8. Be aware of the numbers that you have to use. So once I simplify this, I am going to have 240 cubic centimeters. I am asked to find the volume of a cylinder when I'm given a base of 25 pi centimeters squared and a height of 3 centimeters more than the radius. So I'm asked to show my answer in terms of pi and round it to the nearest tenths. My first step is recognizing that the area formula is pi r squared. Why is that important? Because I don't know the radius, and in order to find the radius, I would need to know a little bit more information. So the base area is 25 pi, and I'm going to set that equal to pi r squared. So all I did was simply substitute in for the area that was given. Now I want to find the radius, so I'm going to divide both sides by what's stopping the radius from being by itself, which is pi. And when I do that on both sides, I can get rid of it, and I have 25 is equal to r squared. Well, I don't want r squared, I just want r. So the inverse of a square is to square root it. What I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So that's going to leave me with r is equal to the square root of 25 is plus or minus 5. However, we will not have a negative measurement. So we're going to say the radius is 5. So my next step is to go back and read here. It says that my height is 3 centimeters more than the radius. Well, we know that the radius is 5. My height is 3 times 5, which makes it 15. Okay, so now I can go ahead and go to solve for my volume. And since this is a cylinder, I know that the formula is pi r squared times height. Well, pi r squared is the same as the area, and we were already given the area of 25 pi. So all of this is going to be replaced with 25 pi. And now we just found the height of 15. So we just substitute that in. Once you simplify this and you put it in a calculator, you're going to get two answers because you're asked to show it in terms of pi pi and then round it to the nearest tenths. So in terms of pi means that I'm just going to multiply the 25 and the 15, and that's going to give me 375. And then I just bring that pi down. Again, keeping up with my units, this is cubic centimeters. Now this is approximately, if I'm rounding it to the nearest tenths, 1,178.1 cubic centimeters. So I do want to point out to you Cavalieri's principle, which states that if two three-dimensional figures have the same height and have the same cross-sectional area at every level, then they're going to have the same volume. So what that means is it does not matter if I have a slanted cylinder in this case versus one that's upright. As long as if I were to slice this in half, I'm going to see a circle in between each level. So therefore, it's going to have the same volume. And that applies to the prisms as well. So even if they're slanted, as long as they have the same height, then that means they're going to have the same volume. All right, that's it for the video. Click that thumbs up, subscribe, and have an awesome day.